Here is grade 7, module 10, lesson 4. Our I can statement is that I can break a composite figure into simple shapes and use area formulas to find its area. So a composite figure is essentially different shapes put together. So for example, our first problem here, the composite figure is going to be a rectangle. So it's going to be this piece right here and a square put together to maybe make up a room with a closet or something on the outside. So to find the area of a composite figure, you find the area of each shape. So that's what we did here, length times width, and length times width again. And then we add them together. So you take that, you take the rectangle's area plus the square's area, and that will get you your total amount for this whole little L shape here. All right, here's another shape, a little funky. We need to break it up into pieces. So we have a rectangle. So let's draw in our rectangle here. So there is a rectangle. Again, area of a rectangle is length times width. So we're gonna have our 4 times 8. So here's our rectangle. 4 times our 8. And then we have the area of a triangle. So we have that top part hanging out there. And the area formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Now, when you're looking at these problems, be very careful to know what you're talking about. So we got lots of numbers going on right here. So for our triangle, we're gonna imagine that that green part doesn't exist. So with our yellow part, we have a base of 6 feet. So this is our number that we're using, times our height. So 6 times 2 times that 1/2 will get us 6 feet squared. And then also remember, your units are always squared for area because you're doing feet times feet. Now we gotta add everything together. So we have our nice big object here, a rectangle with a little corner triangle for our composite figure. We're gonna take our 32, our rectangle, plus the area of our triangle and add them together. And that would make the area of the whole object to be 38 feet squared. Now here, your first step is to, again, break this into shapes that we know. You could break it into shapes like this, a funky little trapezoid, but we don't know those formulas. So we want to divide this into something that we know. So we can go into a triangle. So we'll be finding the area of our triangle here. And then we have 2 little rectangles. And we have enough information to know the measurements of these little pieces. So here we have 18 feet is this whole measure. But we need to figure out this part on the bottom and this part on the bottom. So let's start with doing our big rectangle first. It's gonna be our 16 times our 10. So 16 times 10, this is the area of our rectangle. I'm gonna keep my colors all the same here. So area of our rectangle, that is gonna be what? 16 times 10 will give us 160. And now we have our little rectangle. I'll do that in green. Okay, so that's gonna be area of our little rectangle. We have, let's see here, go back to blue. We know this length is 4. So that means if the top of our rectangle is 4, the bottom of our rectangle is 4. And then what is our height? We know that this whole distance is 16 and this is 6. So what is that distance from here to here going to be? It's going to be that 16 minus the 6 here to give us 10. So the height is going to be 10. So my area for my green part here is going to be 40. All right, now we just have to do our pink triangle. So area of the triangle, 1/2 base times height. And we'll do this little guy in yellow. And I really encourage you to use colors like this, whether that's colored pens, pencils, a highlighter, to make sure you're not missing any piece of your composite figure, because as it gets more complicated, if you forget, say, the triangle, you're not going to quite get the right answer. So be very careful to include all those pieces. Okay, so let's plug in what we know. 1/2 base times height. And we know that that height is still going to be 10. But what is my base? Pause the video, play around with that. What is my base right here? What is this distance? We have a total of 18 minus 4 will give us 18. Oh, minus 4 minus my 10. Okay, so 18 minus 14 means that this little triangle base is 4. So I'm going to have 1/2 times 4 will give me 2 times 10 will give me 20. Let's add all these up, see what we get. So the area total, and this little subscript like that is just meant to be identifying what you're finding. Notice I did my, I have my rectangle, and then triangle. I'm just saying here, I'm finding the answer, final answer. So 160 plus my 40 plus my 20. Pause your video, add those up, and then don't forget your units. All right, the area of our composite figure is 220 feet squared. Final answer, put it in a box.